Today I'm doing a little casting, and it's kind of a cleanup casting. I'm going to be doing some 3D print casts. And these are just little resin printed 3D print honeycombs that fit right into our Maker Select molds. Now I'm going to be using these Maker Select molds. These are our molds here that we make at Turner's Warehouse. And these are really cool because they're made of HDPE. They're precision machined, so they're nice and smooth. The blanks come out really easy. You can pop the plug and tap it out, or pop the plug and use air to pop it out. Now I have already sprayed these with mold release, which I would recommend, the Stoner, and they're ready to go. So I'm going to use Alumilite Clear Slow. This is a urethane resin. For this kind of application, I'm just doing one color, black. I am going to do some dye, black dye, and some black, Ninja Black mica. But it'll all be black. It'll just have a shimmer. So I can mix it up, pour it, and get it in the pot pretty quickly. Now, the reason I'm using urethane for this is because I don't need a long open time. It'll bond fine with the resin prints. If I had other concerns, I might use a different resin, but for this, urethane, which is Alumilite Clear Slow, is perfect. So, first thing I'm going to do is, I'm also going to do one other cast. I'm going to do this knife scale. This is also one of our Maker Select molds. This is a knife scale set. So basically you would cast this whole sheet and then cut it in half and have matching sides. I'm going to do this where I 3D printed this honeycomb to go this way. And then the scales will be cut this way. So each scale will have a broken honeycomb on each side. It'll look really cool. Now I could have made it the other way, but then it would have been solid. So this is why I wanted the broken cut. So you can see it's clean. And I could have printed the whole thing and cut it and like broke it and made it look good, but this just works out well. So what I've done, you can see, is I've 3D printed these to the exact size of these Maker Select molds, because then they're easy just to drop in and be ready to go. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is mix up some resin. And I'll put a link to all this stuff in the description below. So if you have any questions or you want to see the molds or the resins and micas we're using, no problem. Now, I do not have my cheat sheet and I can't remember how many, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Just figuring out how many ounces here. We're going to shoot for 15 total ounces, which if that's a little light, we can always add a little more real quick. But the reason it's harder to calculate is I'm putting something in each mold. So I may end up with too much, but if I do, we'll cast something else. So I'm going to go 7.5. Now it's, oops, I went a little high, 780. So I need to match that with part B, 780. Now, if it was warmer, which it's getting warmer, I could put my mica and my dye into part A, which I'll go ahead and do. And there is no recipe for this. It's kind of a feel. So you put it in until you think it looks good. So I'm going to use 2 scoops of mica. And this is the Eye Candy Ninja Black. And then I'm going to use the Alumilite dye in black. And I'm just going to put a couple drops. Oops, there we go. And a little goes a long way with black. So unless you want it really black, be real careful. And I can stir this up now. But the beauty is I still got to put my part B in. So I'm going to stir this up even more. So I don't have to worry if it's not perfect yet, because I still have more resin to add, which I will do now. demold the blanks. And I want to take note that this pressure pot over 24 hours has lost 1 pound of pressure. All right. There's the knife scales. Spilt a little bit. There's the first pen blank and the second pen blank. Looks like I was a little tippy on it too. So those just ran over. The nice thing is they'll just pop right off of there. But what we can do is pop these out. Now this was designed to go in our demold rack, which we have listed, and you just take a punch and tap them. However, most of the time, I find if you just get a little space in there, they'll pop right out with air, and then you're ready to trim them up. I'll do this one without hitting it. See, it makes a difference. See, one tap